Muy buenas a todos, soy Mariatxi, bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo de este Kingdom Come Deliverance. Bueno, después de una noche un poco ajetreada aquí con el sacerdote, vamos a ver si podemos hacer un gran sermón, que es lo que nos pide. Todo sea por conseguir información acerca de los amigos del asesinato.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait. Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
Guess I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
No lo pasamos mal ayer.
You may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Vamos a ver qué tal se nos da esto de predicar.
Greetings, brothers and sisters in Christ. I am here to tell you about Mother Church and to show you through my words how she is falling into decay and abandon, how the once great mother of all Christians is losing her dignity and trading in souls like the merchants in the temple. But I am digressing.
That whelp wants to preach about the church.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone. It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. and when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travelers, simple folk, prostitutes, and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Bueno, ya que va bien,
Enough about sin,
seguimos ahí a la
which the
bestia.
prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honor to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Bueno, parece que hemos hecho, lo hemos clavado.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver tongue.
I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague. He told it nicely.
Bueno, parece que le hemos salvado el culo al sacerdote con nuestro sermón.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin,
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you,
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
fell out.
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pious. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to
A mí también, después de la noche que nos hemos pasado.
I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Qué catacrack el cura este. En fin. Bueno, me imagino que tenemos que informar al... Partida guardada, designios... Bueno, pues tenemos que ir. A la siguiente ciudad. Que es esta, así que... Vamos para allá. Viaje rápido, porque total... Es todo tiquitaca, y va, caminar, pues nos vamos allá en un viaje rápido que nos cuesta menos llegar. Y algo ha pasado.
What are you doing here?
Why do you ask? Can I not take a walk in the woods without being accosted?
Ay, se me debe poner la
I
armadura.
ask because I'm the gamekeeper here, and it's my job to protect these woods from poachers.
Well, I'm certainly not poaching.
In that case, you won't mind if I have a look what you've got on you.
Certainly. Go ahead and look.
Vaya, creo que llevo algo.
All right. Nothing suspicious here. You may leave, Goodman.
Oh,
I feel quite hungry.
vamos a poner mis armaduras. Ahora sabía que era guardabosques, tú. Las armas, que tampoco llevo. Bueno, me imagino que ya apareceré algo. A ver, mapa. Y vamos a seguir de viaje rápido. Ataque en el camino. Bueno, vamos a pararnos a ver qué pasa. Vamos a tomarnos esta pócima. ¿Quién me ataca? Coño, vaya viaje tú que me ha dado. Pero saca el arma, tío. Anda, qué poco más durado. Ahora ahí. Esto de pelear con resaca no es nada bueno. Igual me lo llevo todo y luego voy mirando a ver. ¡Hala! ¿Y esto? Pico italiano. Eso lo puedo coger también. Muy un pelín cargado, pero bueno. Vamos a tomar otra pócima. Esta. Esta nos subirá el caballo. Ojo, el caballo a tope, tío. Y yo también. Bueno, pues seguimos.
I feel quite hungry.
El problema de ir así a tope, cargadito, es que no puedo hacer un viaje rápido. Pero vamos a hacer una cosa. Las armaduras... casco. Mira, este lleva 55. Defensa 8. Llevo... Mira, vamos a esta y esta, por ejemplo, la voy a tirar. ¿Me has tirado? Coño, vale pasta, ¿eh? Me pongo este. Ahí, si tiro algo más, pues igual con un poco de suerte vamos a tirar. Esto no es mucho. Me queda poquito, me queda poco. Ahora que tiene una cosa más, ya puedo... necesito tirar algo más. Vamos a tirar... ¿Qué podemos tirar? Una cosa más. El pilum este. La hacha que tiene poca esto. Una flecha. Pues no sé, a ver qué podemos tirar. Creo que ya está. Ya nos damos bordotes y ahora podemos hacer el viaje rápido. Ya. A ver si con un poco de suerte llegamos ya. Bueno, ya hemos llegado. Aquí está la taberna, vamos a la taberna. Así podemos comer algo. Pero saciar el apetito. Vale, y ahora vamos a intentar charlar un poco con la gente. El posadero puede que sea este. Sí. Y a ver qué nos cuenta. Vamos a interrogar un poco al personal.
God be with you, good sir.
What's happening around here?
Nothing much, thank God. Peace and quiet is a blessing in this day and age.
Pues no, el posadero no me dice nada, qué raro. Vamos a ver. Seguir el rastro de Hediondo. Vamos a seguir hablando con la gente. A ver si por un casual este quiere echar una partida de dados que no voy a jugar.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
You mean Hinek? He's the tanner's son, isn't he?
Any idea where I could find him?
I don't know. Try at his folks' house. But he doesn't spend much time there.
So you know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
Well, not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
Well, no one with a nose likes spending too much time around tanners. And that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
Why do they call Hinek Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you're ever downwind of him, you'll understand. Tanning isn't a trade for the weak of stomach.
True enough. But not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinek's nature's no sweeter than his smell.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone, and then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Ratai for thieving, and in Neuhof he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches, Adela, I believe she's called.
Muy bien. ¿Dónde está lo de los baños? Este es Adela. Hablar con el padre. Hablar con la moza.
You'd better put that weapon away, or you'll be asking for trouble.
Vamos a ver si pillamos a Adela. Hablar con la propietaria primero. Así que puedo vender cosas. A ver, y comprar todo pócimas. Poción de amor. Bueno, no me interesa esto. Vamos a buscarla. Este no tiene pinta de que sea. Igual tengo que contratar los servicios. No, esta es. Y preguntar por ella, pero no.
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
I just wanted to ask you a few questions. It's not my business how you live your life.
I'm glad to hear it. Some folk don't care for the way I make a living.
I can imagine.
So what about you then? You look a bit careworn. A bath with a bit of company might do you good.
Maybe later, sweetheart. Right now, I have some questions to ask.
Ask away then.
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy to me.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, looters, cumans, and God knows what other vermin around, it's not the sort of thing an honest man would do.
But Hinek doesn't have anything to do with those people.
Oh, really? Then what does he do there? I don't imagine he's gathering mushrooms.
Mushrooms, no. More like hares or other game.
So Hinek is a poacher? That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see.
Mm.
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon. It makes sense.
for sure. Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, because he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start.
Bueno, nos han dado una pista.
How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Bueno, vamos a hablar con el posadero otra vez. Yeah, my friend.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
And ask someone else. They've nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
About the goods Riki owes you.
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop dodging my questions and tell me what I want to know.
I suppose that would be all right.
How much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him in advance for 5 heirs.
We can settle things right away. As it happens, I have some game with me.
Let's see it then.
Ah, pues no.
Have you got it or not?
O sea, coger libres. Para el posadero, vale. Bueno, pues yo creo que es un momento para... A ver, ¿dónde puede haber? No tiene que estar muy lejos de las libres, ¿no? Pero es que estoy petado, ¿no? De peso. Como para llevar libres. Tengo que llevarle 5 libres al tío. Vamos a buscar 5 libres, que no tiene que ser muy complicado. Salvo que aparezca el... Oye, va, que me doy... Vaya hostia, me he dado. ¿No? Sí. Me he dejado media cabeza ahí. Vamos, salta. Vaya, hombre, me ha tocado el caballo vago. será que no. Me dolerá la cabeza todavía. Vamos a meternos por allá arriba, a ver. Sí, yo creo que aquí se habrá liebres o algo. Yo no llevo el arco. ¿Quién lleva? Sí, sí llevo el arco. Ahora. Nos metemos en el bosque. Mira un campamento. Anda. Bueno. ¿Y por qué no viene mi caballo? Suele aparecer sin más. ¿Y esto qué es? Jardín boscoso. Flores. Ah, mira, aquí está. Aparece de la nada ahí. ha hecho chas y aparezco a tu lado. queda quieta. Pues nada, porque no es muy fácil de darle, ¿eh? Lo único es que podemos recuperar si encuentro la flecha, claro. Mira, ahí está la flecha. ¿Dónde está? Ahí. Párate, párate. Joder. Ven, papá. Coño. Me quedé sin flechas antes de ver esto. Vale, por regar las flechas. Creo que se pare. ¿Dónde está? ¿Ya la he perdido? Joder, se ha metido entre todos. Entre toda la maleza. Y la ha perdido. Pero no quiero cervatillos, tío. ¿Y aquí hay? ¿Eso qué es? Coño, un ciervo. Y un nido. Eso son cosas interesantes. Vaya. Uy. Ahora cae. El collar, bueno, este es pequeñito ese collar, pero no quiero cervo. Quiero una liebre. Que no voy a encontrar. De normal aparecen a patadas. Y ahora resulta que no va a haber. Mira, ahí va. ¡Uy! ¿Le he dado o no? No le he dado. Ahora sí, ahora sí, ahora sí lo han enganchado. Bueno, vámonos allá. Ahora cuando lo tengo aparecerá el guardabosques. Bueno, vamos a hablar con el posadero. Le vamos a dar las liebres, vamos a sacar la información y vamos a dejar el capítulo. El capítulo del sermón. Bueno, y tal mal, ya tenemos a liebre. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está el posadero? Pues igual por aquí. Sí, aquí está. Bueno, pues vamos a dar a las liebres, que no vendrá mal, y dejaremos el capítulo aquí.
I've got that game for you.
Splendid. That looks pretty good. So, what do you want to know about Inek?
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is, I don't know where it is at all. But I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
How do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so he had to have a light for that.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft.
Bueno, pues vamos a dejarlo aquí. Buscaremos esto en otro momento. Ya sabéis, un buen like, un buen comentario. Sed buenos. Nos vemos.